A Fort Severn First Nation man was injured after fighting off a polar bear while protecting his wife. Police say the man leapt onto the bear to protect his wife from being mauled.
Did you know polar bears, the largest land carnivores on Earth, are capable of smelling prey nearly a mile away? This is not the plot of a survival thriller, but a real-life event that unfolded in the remote wilderness of Ontario, Canada. When a polar bear lunged at a woman, her husband made a split-second decision that would etch his name into local folklore. But what exactly happened that led to this spine-chilling encounter? Why are these massive creatures venturing closer to human settlements? And how does this harrowing tale connect to the fragile balance between humans and wildlife? The remote Fort Severn First Nation community, perched along the southern shores of Hudson Bay, is no stranger to polar bears. Here, the wild isn't just a distant concept, it's an everyday reality. With a population of fewer than 600, this community lives on the edge of civilization and wilderness, where spotting a polar bear isn't entirely unexpected. Polar bears are more than just majestic icons of the Arctic. They are apex predators with an undeniable capacity for destruction. Weighing up to 800 kilograms and standing nearly 10 feet tall on their hind legs, these creatures possess a blend of raw strength and surprising agility. Their razor-sharp claws and teeth are designed for one purpose: to hunt. But polar bears, despite their fearsome reputation, rarely attack humans. Canada is home to approximately 16,000 of these bears, roughly 2/3 of the global population. In most cases, they avoid human settlements. So, what drove this bear to such aggressive behavior? Experts suggest that the changing Arctic environment is playing a significant role. As sea ice melts due to rising global temperatures, polar bears are losing their primary hunting grounds. Normally, these predators rely on sea ice to hunt seals, their primary food source. Without it, they're forced to roam on land, often entering human territories in search of sustenance. Polar bears are creatures of habit, finely tuned to the icy world they call home. Every day spent on land instead of hunting seals costs them precious fat reserves. An adult bear can lose up to 1 kilogram of fat daily when not feeding. Over time, this leads to malnutrition and desperation. A malnourished bear is a dangerous bear. Hunger overrides their usual caution around humans, pushing them to take risks they might otherwise avoid. And in places like Fort Severn, where human settlements overlap with polar bear habitats, these encounters are becoming more frequent. While polar bear attacks are rare, they are not unheard of. In 2018, Aaron Gibbons, a 31-year-old man from Sentry Island, Nunavut, sacrificed himself to protect his children from a charging bear. His bravery mirrored the actions of the Fort Severn man, demonstrating a tragic yet heroic pattern in these incidents. Each attack tells a story of survival and sacrifice, underscoring the precarious relationship between humans and wildlife in the north. But it also raises pressing questions about the future. As climate change accelerates, how many more such encounters will unfold? Fort Severn, like many Arctic communities, exists at the mercy of nature's whims. The Hudson Bay region, a critical habitat for polar bears, is undergoing rapid environmental changes. Winters are shorter, ice freezes later and breaks up earlier, leaving bears with less time to hunt and more time to wander. The polar bear in this story may have been one of many struggling to adapt to this new reality, but for the residents of Fort Severn, this is more than an environmental issue. It's a matter of survival. The community now grapples with the aftermath of the attack, patrolling the area to ensure no other bears pose a threat. But the questions linger. What happened to the man and his wife after this traumatic event? How is the community preparing to prevent future attacks? And what does this incident reveal about the broader impact of climate change on wildlife and human settlements? In the biting chill of Fort 7, Ontario, a remote First Nations community perched on the edge of Hudson Bay, the silence of the pre-dawn hours is a comforting constant. But on this particular Tuesday morning, that calm was shattered by a spine-chilling encounter that would test the mettle of an ordinary man in extraordinary circumstances. It began like any other winter morning. The couple, wrapped in the warmth of their small home, had heard the restless barking of their dogs outside. The canines, often the first line of defense against wilderness intruders, were agitated, a warning signal they'd come to recognize. Concerned for their animals, the pair ventured out into the icy darkness. The thermometer hovered far below freezing, the air thick with the metallic bite of frost. The driveway was cloaked in an almost eerie stillness, with only the crunch of snow underfoot breaking the silence. But as they moved closer to their dogs, an enormous shadow emerged from the gloom, a polar bear, its ivory coat blending seamlessly into the snowy backdrop. Its sheer size was staggering. A towering predator standing over 10 feet tall on its hind legs, with paws that could deliver bone-crushing blows. For a brief moment, there was a terrifying standoff. The woman froze, her breath visible in the icy air as she instinctively stepped backward. But the bear, clearly hungry and perhaps emboldened by desperation, lunged without hesitation. Its massive frame moved with alarming speed, closing the gap in a heartbeat. The woman slipped on the icy ground as the beast bore down on her, its black eyes glinting with primal intent. And that's when her husband acted. Without a second thought, he threw himself onto the bear, his body slamming into its muscular back. The impact caught the animal off guard for a fleeting moment, enough to divert its attention. The man's arms wrapped around the creature's neck in a desperate attempt to restrain it, his shouts of defiance echoing through the stillness. The bear, enraged by the sudden assault, thrashed violently. Its claws, each as sharp as a hunting knife, raked across the man's arms and legs, tearing through layers of clothing and flesh. Blood stained the pristine snow as the man clung on, refusing to let go despite the excruciating pain. His mind raced, not with fear, but with an unyielding determination to protect his wife. Then, as if out of a movie, a neighbor appeared. The sound of gunfire broke the chaos, the sharp crack of the rifle reverberating through the cold morning air. The bear staggered, blood spraying from its thick hide as the bullets found their mark. But even then, it didn't retreat immediately. It turned toward its new assailant, snarling and defiant, before finally lumbering into the nearby woods. The once mighty predator succumbed to its injuries moments later, collapsing into the snow. The husband, now bloodied and barely conscious, was rushed to the community's nursing station. His injuries were severe: deep gashes on his arms and legs, bruises from the bear's powerful blows, and the sheer physical toll of the encounter. Yet, against all odds, he was alive. As medical staff worked tirelessly to stabilize him, the story of his heroism spread through the small community. In Fort 7, home to only about 400 people, news travels fast. The man who had leapt onto a polar bear to save his wife became an instant legend, a testament to the extraordinary lengths humans will go to protect their loved ones. While polar bear encounters are not unheard of in the Arctic, attacks like this one are exceedingly rare. These apex predators, native to the frozen wilderness of the north, typically avoid human settlements. Their natural prey is the seal, hunted on the vast expanses of sea ice. However, climate change has begun to alter this delicate balance. The rapid melting of sea ice has forced many polar bears inland in search of food. Once thriving in their icy habitats, they now face dwindling resources and longer periods without sustenance. Desperation drives them closer to human communities, where the scent of garbage, livestock, or even household pets can lure them in. In the case of Fort 7, the bear's behavior suggested hunger, a relentless need to survive in an environment that is becoming increasingly hostile. According to Elisa McCall, a scientist with Polar Bears International, nutritionally stressed adult males are often the most likely to attack humans. This aligns with a 2017 study documenting over a century of polar bear conflicts, which found that hunger was a common motivator in these rare but deadly encounters. Scientists have warned that as sea ice continues to retreat, human polar bear interactions will become more frequent and potentially more lethal. This isn't just a wildlife conservation issue. It's a matter of public safety for those living in the far north. Efforts to mitigate these risks are already underway. In some Canadian communities, innovative programs have been implemented to prevent bear encounters. Patrol teams equipped with snowmobiles and spotlights work to scare off approaching bears. In Churchill, Manitoba, dubbed the polar bear capital of the world, troublemaking bears are temporarily housed in an air-conditioned bear jail until they can be relocated safely. But even with these measures, the reality is clear. As the Arctic undergoes its dramatic transformation, the line between human and wildlife territory will blur, leading to more encounters like the one in Fort 7. In the aftermath of the attack, the residents of Fort 7 rallied around the injured man and his wife. They patrolled the area vigilantly, ensuring no other bears roamed nearby. The incident served as both a wake-up call and a testament to the resilience of this tight-knit community. For the man who risked his life to save his wife, recovery will be a long journey. The physical scars will serve as a permanent reminder of his harrowing ordeal, but they will also stand as symbols of his courage. In a world where the boundaries between nature and humanity are increasingly tested, his story is a poignant example of what it means to fight for the people you love, even against impossible odds. For those who live in the Arctic, coexistence with polar bears is a delicate balance. Experts emphasize the importance of preparation and vigilance. Simple measures like securing food waste and maintaining well-lit areas can make a significant difference. And if the unthinkable happens, if you find yourself face-to-face with a polar bear, remember this: do not play dead. Fight with everything you have. As we marvel at this incredible tale of survival, it's a sobering reminder of our fragile place in the natural world. Polar bears are not villains, but victims of a changing environment, driven to desperate measures as their icy domain disappears. Their growing presence in human territories is a stark warning of the interconnected challenges we face. Let this story inspire awe, caution, and a deeper commitment to preserving the delicate balance between humanity and the wild. If this chilling tale of survival, bravery, and the raw power of nature left you in awe of the human spirit and the wild's unpredictability, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more edge-of-your-seat stories. Stay curious, stay prepared, and join us next time as we uncover another incredible journey where humanity faces the untamed.